Already the video is going. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm Josh Wynn, and this is Lansing Laws, and we did our presentation on the My Body, My Choice. My research question was the effectiveness of prescription drug ads on consumers. So first, since 1998, DTCA, or direct-to-consumer ads, have been opposed by both doctors and consumers alike. An average person sees up to 9 ads a day, and this can be shown through TV, iPhones, radio, all sorts of media outlets. So what's the problem? The problem is patients are misunderstood and confused by these ads, as the ads have a low, monotone voice that sometimes doesn't give all the info. Another problem is that it shows a lot of economic declines from patients' wallets. So they're losing a lot of money by purchasing these drugs that they don't need. Next slide. Some of the facts are $180 billion were spent alone on prescription drug ads just this last year. $25 billion of that was on promotion alone, and $2,710 a year were spent by an average person. Go back. Just go back one slide. These ads are very manipulating and cost-worthy to these patients, and 65% of these patients are being confused by these ads that are being promoted through these social media outlets. My counterclaim and refutation would be, yes, these ads help spread the word about these drugs, and the businesses also have the right to advertise these drugs, but these ads are causing more harm than good, and they have no care for the patient's health. These ads are giving a lack of knowledge to the patients on what these drugs are doing to them and for their health. This can be critical to those taking these drugs, as it can affect their future health. To conclude, these ads may cause patients to overthink and further hurt themselves in the future by taking drugs that aren't meant for their body types and are being prescribed by their doctors. This can also cause an uncertainty because, like I said, patients don't know their body types, and they don't know what drugs are good for them for their blood pressure or past diseases that they've had. And lastly, it is costly to those purchasing the drugs, and it's a waste of money from our economy to spend on unnecessary promotional ads.
Thanks, Josh. Go ahead and click. My research question was on the legalization of medical cannabis. To contextualize a little bit, cannabis is the chemical and medical term for marijuana. Cannabis comes in 2 forms. It's a sativa and an indica. Sativa is a more stimulating drug and has a high CBD to THC ratio. CBD is actually cannabinol, which is the part of the drug that has all the medical benefits in it. THC is tetrahydrocannabinol, which gives you the high, your traditional, what people do drugs for the more high side of it. Indica is more psychoactive, more for daytime use, gets you like amped up, more energetic, and has a higher THC to CBD ratio. While legalizing it, there are actually no federal or state laws banning CBD, the second ingredient in cannabis, which is actually the medical side of it. There are, however, federal laws banning THC, which is the high side of it, and it's really hard to separate them. That's what they're working on researching right now. Economically, there's actually neither policy costs more or less. both legalizing it and making it illegal are costing the government about the same amount of money. Cannabis also has almost endless medical benefits. It's been used in multiple studies to cause cancer in everything from elderly patients to children. And it's also a huge pain relief. They're actually making oils that athletes can like rub on their skin, and it eases your nerves. And although it is illegal federally, it is actually the popular opinion, not only because people want to smoke it recreationally, but because more people are researching the medical benefits and want it to be more readily available. The counterclaim is that many people believe that smoking marijuana causes cancer, and they would be right when you are talking about smoking it. Smoked marijuana can increase your risk for lung cancer because you are inhaling smoke. However, in most of the proposals that they are researching right now, they are proposing cannabis supplements, which are oils, vaporizing pens, pills, suppositories, like all different kinds of ways that you can actually ingest it that isn't going into your lungs. This is actually a lot safer and more diverse for patients, so people might have a skin condition, so they would need a rub, or they may need some sort of alternative way to ingest it. In conclusion, there are actually 20 states, because of there's no federal laws against the CBD, there's actually 20 states that have legalized medical marijuana. 4 states have legalized it recreationally, including us in Colorado, and a few more have in this past election. It is a hot button topic mainly because it is illegal, or it's legal to states, but illegal federally, which was a huge issue back when we first drafted our Constitution, whether the state should have more power than the federal government. But most people believe that we should have a right to an organic alternative to traditional medication, which kind of connects both of ours together.
Yeah. So next slide. How they connect. We both came to a conclusion that both of ours need a doctor's consent to be taken for the public to take. So we need the patients to go to their doctors to address what their health benefits, whether the marijuana is safe for them to take with their blood pressure or their diseases, or whether the medication is okay for their hearts and health. We also said that in both cases, patients may ingest the wrong medicine for their specific body type, and both have a negative effect if taken recklessly or irresponsibly.
Yeah, like if you are taking the wrong kind of strain of marijuana, it can affect your body in more negative ways, or in Josh's case, if you are watching prescription drug ads and you're like, hey, this applies to me, and you take it, it could affect your body negatively. So you should definitely go to your doctor and ask them before you take it. So this is me. The counterclaim and refutation is saying that if you have to go to your doctor and ask them for prescription drugs more often, that it would make hospitals and like different offices more crowded. It would make it harder to get an appointment with your doctor because more and more people would be flooding in. But if you look at the benefits of it, a longer wait time would be worth the health benefits. If you have to wait a month or 2 to get the right diagnosis, it may be worth taking the wrong pill and possibly injuring yourself further.
Go back. Yeah, right there. Our call to action is to go to a doctor first before taking any drug. So that way you are sure of what's going on with your body and the symptoms that are happening to you.
Always consider an organic or herbal alternative. Even besides marijuana, there's lots of other organic oils and plants that people tend to lean more towards nowadays against the more manufactured pills that they are selling in drug ads.
Lansing, at the end, you said that people should always look for some kind of medication that would be natural. So, like going to, like the health food store or whatever, So wouldn't people run into the same problems there, purchasing things off the shelves that they did not have any kind of prescription for, as they would? I mean, isn't that just sort of perpetuating that problem?
Yeah, we would make it more, for the cannabis side of it, it'd need like a prescription. So like when you would go to the doctor to fill like a regular prescription, you would give them like your transcript from your doctor and then they'd go in the back and fill it up. It'd be kind of the same thing with a marijuana alternative.
So you have to have a prescription to get
Yes.
them in.
Yeah.
What does?
For certain strains, yeah.
Okay. Well, and then you said something about legalizing being as expensive as not legalizing. Can you explain that?
It was a study done, and they looked at the theoretical, if they had legalized it, how much money they'd have to back off. So they would take money out of like the DEA, because marijuana is actually number one on like the DEA's drug list. So some funding would be pulled out of the DEA and it would be pushed into more like state laws so that they could regulate consumption and like people growing it a little bit better. I didn't actually write down the specific study, unfortunately, but it was done in Alaska, and they compared how it is now, how much money we're spending fighting, like the war on drugs against marijuana, and then theoretically, how much it would cost to stop that war on drugs and fund this kind of research more, and it was within like $1,000 difference.
So Josh, having finished your project, what, if anything, would you consider differently that would perhaps alter your conclusion or change your conclusion?
Probably our economic stance. We could have taken that different point of view, but instead we decided to take it to a doctor's permission, and so yeah, I guess taking an economic background.
Good job.